Do you know you? I know that is a crazy question to ask, but when you sit down and really think about it, you will find that you don't want to waste your years. Get to retirement and you ask yourself, what have I done with my years? And you feel like you have done all the wrong things. Let me tell you, the people that have come to my community or signed up for my community, and they have discovered themselves at 50, they have discovered themselves at 55. And this is what recently, there's someone who gave me a tithe. They go to a place and they were invited for speaking engagements, multiple speaking engagements. I think there were like 6 in a row, and they were being paid for those speaking engagements. And it came out of a mentorship. Remember, when I talk about Accelerated Mentorship Academy, when I started it in 2020, we were in the heat of COVID, and I started an institute, okay? And I signed up the first batch of people. The first batch of people actually paid $100. That is 370. And we have walked the journey with them that they are still in my life and in my community up to now. Because I told them I do not take my hands off you until I know you can fly solo and you can do amazing things. Now, this particular lady actually signed up, should have been in 2021. And within that cohort, I remember I had even given them an offer. The year was beginning, and I felt the leading to actually give a huge discount of the program, and I gave them a very huge discount, and they got into the program. And when they got into the program, they never looked back. They were more than 50 years. But finding themselves recently, just like I've said, they gave me a tithe of what they had earned from the speaking engagements. And they're like, you know what, if it had not been for you, I don't know where I would have been. I don't think my life would have had meaning. I don't think I would have made any sense. I don't think I would have been fulfilled. I am 50-something years going into my 60s, but I am the happiest I have ever been in my entire life. The happiest I have ever been in my entire life. Do you know you? You can know. It's never too late to know you. You can actually rediscover who you are and your purpose. And just like I said that you're a unique design, some of us are reflective, some of us are outgoing, some of us are extroverted, some of us are introverts, some of us are too analytical. But guess what? The world needs all of us. The world needs all of us. And that God knew that we need these unique designs all over the world to be able to fulfill the work that must be done. Okay? So I need you to be able to refine, to know yourself, refine yourself, and be able to change over time. Let's go to number 2. You are unique, or you have unique desires. Your desires are not necessarily my desires. We like different things. And I will say this because today morning it happened right after breakfast. We dropped children to school, went for breakfast, and then we passed by a certain shop. It was a home decor place, and we wanted to just look at things, gazebo lights, floor lights, and then the plants, and then the chairs and stuff like that. And so when we got into the shop, immediately, the moment I saw perfumes, house perfumes, I knew that my husband is not going to look at anything else apart from perfumes. Like, say, I know most of you, if you're a woman or if you are a spouse and you know your spouse and what they like, you will know that, by the way, when you go to a place and there's something that they like, they will be taken over. They will not look at anything else. Let me tell you, he looked at perfumes, he smelled the perfumes, he did everything. But me, on the other hand, I am not interested in perfumes. I like perfumes because I know I have to use a perfume. And being a people person and a public person, I would have to back then I would even remind myself to put on perfumes. Right now, I know that it's the order of the day that I have to wear perfume every day. But, like, that's not something that takes me up. Half the time I'm using my husband's perfumes. Half the time he's the one buying my perfumes. I don't think of a day where I have actually gotten money and said that, you know what, now I'm intentionally going to buy a perfume. Only when I go through airports and maybe duty-free shops and I see a particular brand. I love Dolce & Gabbana light blue, and that is the only thing I have. Whether I'm in Dubai, whether I'm in Ethiopia, that is the only thing I will buy. But when it comes to so I know that he has a unique desire when it comes to perfumes, when it comes to watches, when it comes to cars. However, I have so many other desires, and so many times I will not take him into my desires because I will see jewelry boxes, I will see the flowers, I will see the wall paints, I will see the jewelry, I will see the makeup, I will see, those are the things. So you realize that we are all unique and we are all different in our desires. Someone might like something that for you and you actually don't like it. Like, okay, they bought me a gift. I don't know if someone has ever bought you a gift and they think that it's amazing. They think you really, really like it. And you end up thanking them so much because you don't want to disappoint them. But in your heart of hearts, you know, that's, it does not cut it for me. Like, it's just not my kind of thing. So you realize that we have unique desires. So for that reason, I don't want you to fit into anything to be a copy and paste of who likes what. Oh, so-and-so likes cars, so I should like cars. So-and-so likes this, and so I should like this. Do not. Be yourself and be proud of that. And be okay with that. Don't say, oh, if I don't like this, then I am out of tune, then I am not modern, then I'm not. Let me tell you, I have allowed myself to be boring. And it's okay because that is who I am. I know that according to another person, they would be doing different things. They would be having likings to different things, desires of different things, things that I know I can afford, but for me, I actually don't like them. And someone will say, if I were you, I will do this. And in my heart of hearts, I'm like, but that's not, you're not me, unfortunately. And so we don't have the same desires. So can you find out? Can you know you? So that you can communicate you. Because when you know you, and unfortunately, this is what happens. Where I am at my age, I look at so many things and I'm like, we suffer so much in the world. But when you become of age or you get to a certain level of maturity, you begin to be content with what you like and your desires, and you push out everything else, and you're like, no, I'm not going to do this because other people. I'm not going to be a people pleaser even with my desires. Do you know that sometimes we are people pleasers even with our desires because we think if we do not desire this, then people are going to call us weird. It's okay, call me weird, but I am who I am and I'm okay with who I am. Don't make me anyone else. Okay? So, do you know you? The colors. You could have different colors that you like. You could have different kind of job that you like. What desires do you have? I need you to be able to note them down so that you know you. And I know that you have seen so many times that you have different desires, and sometimes you even don't want to admit you want to go with the bandwagon. So stop going with the bandwagon. Know your desires and make sure that something that you like and not something that everyone else likes. Let's go very quickly. You have unique dreams. Unique dreams. And when it comes to dreams and aspirations and even purpose, do you know that we can walk into the same place and we will see totally different things? Let me just say, we hear someone talk about a problem, and we will hear that person actually, one will hear a person speaking gibberish, and one will see the need to address that problem. So because we have been gifted uniquely, then that means according to your dreams, you have been given things that attract you or are magnetic when it comes to your response. So that means when it comes to me, when it comes to leaders, visionaries, people that want to build their brands, people that want to be public speakers, people that want, as in I have been uniquely built, that is my dream, and I am a people developer, and I can do nothing about it because that is where I feel flourishing and thriving. That is what I feel like doing, that I'm a pathfinder. I am not supposed to be just there looking at what people are doing and then appreciating what people are doing. I love what people do. But I've been called to be a pathfinder, and I'm okay with that. So I have a totally different dream. How I see things is totally different. But tell me that, you know what, your dream or maybe your niche could be in teenagers. No, I love teenagers. I have no problem against them. I even speak to them. I go to schools. I go to universities. I love teenagers. But again, I do not niche down in my teenagers. They are not my dream, and that is not what I focus on. So we all focus on different things, just like we have different dreams and opinion and visions about businesses that we want to create. While one is talking about going into into poultry. In your heart of hearts, you're like, you know what? If I have this poultry talk 1 more minute, my head is going to burst, because I am not created for poultry. You don't have any single dream. But there's someone who is raving about clothes. Someone is raving about real estate. Someone is raving about, so we have different dreams. We don't copy dreams. We don't. Do you know you? Or you're going to end up copying what people are doing, and you're not passionate about it, because if it's your dream, it's not your dream, you're not passionate about it. Everyone is doing this, so I'm going to do this. Woe unto you, because you are going to run like no man's business in the wrong direction, only to get 3/4 of the way. You have to make an about turn, come back, and the bad thing is you don't just continue and go to where you want. You have to come back to the center and be able to make another brand new decision. And that is why some people have been only fulfilled in the adult years of their lives, like 60, 70, and that is because then at 50, they decided that, you know what, yeah, I am too old to follow the bandwagon. I am too old to follow other people's dreams. I must have my own dreams, and it's not too late. I can pursue them, even when I'm not going to accomplish them 100%, but maybe I will accomplish a quarter, maybe 10% of the dreams. At least I will, and I will say that in this world I did something. Don't wait until it is too late. Can you, in your 20, in your 30, can you embrace your dreams? Okay, embrace your dreams. And then I will say that the last one, we have unique destinies. Very unique destinies. And so if you are able to just embrace that and say, where I am going, what I am envisioning to do, who I am envisioning to be, is totally different, like totally different. And I want us to live with that in mind. What do you want other people to talk about you when you're eventually out of this world? What? Because then you start working right now for that. That, you know what? This person impacted a zillion of lives. That this person brought livelihood to millions of families. That this person turned around and made it possible for people to hope again. That this person did this. So we have different destinies, okay? Even when it comes to destinies, even out of this world, even in the other realm of life, we have totally different destinies. That is why we choose now what our destiny is going to look like. We choose now what our afterlife is going to look like, because we have different of them. They are not all the same. That is why on different tombstones, there are different tombstones, there are different achievements, there are different statements, there are different how we knew, those people in life, how we interacted with them, the mark they left in this world. And today we were actually talking about it with Tim, and he was telling me about Mahatma Gandhi, and he was telling me that even when that guy was actually not really a known Christian, I don't think I've read any material that shows that he was actually a Christian or he subscribed to the gospel or something like that, but he made such an influence. Not just, he just didn't leave a mark. I don't know how I can intensify or the intensity of the mark that he left, that up to now we still quote, that up to now he's a reference, that up to now, and he could never have gotten that knowledge from anywhere. He only got it from God. So sometimes when we fail to be used or to avail ourselves to be used of God, God will always find a vessel to use. And by the way, that vessel does not necessarily have to be subscribing and gospel-filled and Christian, and no. God actually can use anyone. Just like he can use anything. Not even when humanity fails, God says, no, I will use the donkeys. The donkeys will speak. And if the donkeys will not speak, the mountains will clap. The stones will do something, the bushes. So that means he has not failed to find something to use. But he thrives. He loves it when he uses you, the person that has a unique design, the person that has unique desires, the person that has unique dreams, the person that has a unique destiny, because that is who you are. So I don't want you to follow everything, because in this social media era, there is a trick, something that we are falling we are falling into. It's becoming a huge trench that is swallowing so many of us, that we want to be like so-and-so, that we want to have a house like so-and-so, we want to drive a car like so-and-so, we want to put on clothes like so-and-so, we want to take pictures like so-and-so. We feel, by the way, we feel delayed because some people are running faster than us. We feel like we are not modern. We feel like we will never catch up. We feel like people are making more money than us. We feel like, rest, breathe. Be you. But in order for you to be you, because the world is telling us, be you, be authentic. But remember, we don't know what it means to be authentic, that it is actually to have unique dreams and to be okay with our dreams, that they're not going to look like everyone else's, to be okay with our uniqueness, with our purpose, to be okay with our unique desires. That, you know what, I've never subscribed to, people have all these sorts of cars and the modern cars and what, and I look at each one of them and I'm like, no, that's not it. I don't think I love that. I think if someone even gave it to me, I would drive a different kind of car that is termed as cheap, that is termed as mild, and is not so good, and I will be okay with that and not okay with that. And I don't have to subscribe to anyone's school of thought. Let them, it's okay, let them love that. For example, I've told people that my food from January to December, if you give me fish, a silver fish with posho, you will have me every day. Every day. If you give me skuma wiki with posho, you will have me every day. But cook your matoke, I don't want anything to do with it. Cook your best food that you think this is the best food, I don't want anything to do with it. But that is going back to my personal desires, and I should be okay with it. Even when you come to my home, you will find on a day, because I've made my children like it, I've made the only person that have not been successful in influencing when it comes to silverfish is my husband, but when it comes to posho, I have greatly influenced him, and sukuma wiki, and those are delicacies in our home, and I don't need, and someone cannot come, oh, but we know you for being, this public person, so we hope that you're going to be eating meat every day. No, I hate to disappoint you. I don't like meat. I have never liked meat. So I have unique desires, and I'm okay with that. So I need you, and I'm using those simple examples to show you that it can be as simple as the color of your socks. Have you seen people putting on socks with cartoons? And for them, they like them. You see someone putting on a t-shirt and it just looks weird. But for them, they are okay with that. And I have learned to celebrate individuality. I have learned to celebrate the uniqueness of what someone likes. And I'm okay with that. The different hairstyles, it brings a different something to celebrate every day. We don't have to be the same. No. We don't all have to put on wigs. We don't all have to drive the same cars, live in the same houses, work in the same kinds of jobs. No. I need you to celebrate your uniqueness. And I need you to thank God for it, because that is your only thriving point. That is your only differentiation. And when it comes to personal branding, that even goes further, because all this uniqueness is going to determine what you do, how much you earn, how much you influence people, what kind of impact you have on them. And let me tell you, all this uniqueness is going to determine how much you make. And if you're not careful and you want to copy everyone else, you are limiting yourself on how much you can earn. You are limiting on yourself how much you can influence, and your reach, your reputation. You are actually you are limiting yourself. So what I need you to do is to be able to hug yourself, love yourself, know yourself, be okay with yourself, be okay with being excluded. According to some people, you will never be enough. That is why I usually say that even when you did all the good in the world, if someone is supposed to hate you, they will hate you for no good reason. They will hate you. And it's very possible that the uniqueness of your dreams, the uniqueness of your design, the uniqueness of your destiny, the uniqueness of your desires does not actually dwell the same. They are not compatible with theirs. So, and They will walk, they will go a different path, and you will take a different path. Does it mean that one of you is not going to thrive? You can thrive. Everywhere else where you are planted, where God planted you in your authenticity, you can thrive, you can flourish. That you will be like a plant that was planted by the waterside, that it bears fruits in its own season. My goodness, it bears fruit in its own season. It does not copy seasons. Some of us want to bear fruits in other people's seasons. Yeah? So you're like, you know what? She's driving, I must drive. What car she's driving, I must also drive that same car. My goodness, you're going to run yourself bankrupt, and you're going to get a dissatisfaction, and you're going to feel so bad. It is not going to be fulfilling. But because it is their season, they're putting on fruits. I mean, what? They're on TV? I also want to go to TV. And then I've seen people do these things because of competition, because of envy, and they're like, what? They're I also want to be a public speaker. And then they keep trial and error. Why? Because they have never found themselves that, by the way, I'm a good writer. I remember the very first time, actually, in 2020, when we started Accelerated Mentorship, I remember talking about this, and I told people that I'm a good speaker. I'm a better speaker than I am a writer. Do I write? Yes, I write. And by the way, if you read my books, if you read my material, I write the same way you feel me speaking is the same way I write. So that means I don't have the neatness and the, you know, Simanyi, put a mark here, put a punctuation here. That is why we will delegate some of or we will outsource some of the services, and we'll be like that, you know what, you're the one who is good with punctuations, you're the one who is proofreading, you're the one. That is why we can't do everything. But when I distinguished this kind of uniqueness, I remember Philson, when she came to my inbox immediately. I remember it was a night call. We were using Google Meet and using Zoom and because it was during the pandemic. And then she was like, oh my God, I feel rested. I feel like I have found my purpose. I feel I can rest. I feel like this is it. The reason as to why I signed up for this mentorship was just to find my uniqueness. And she found that her uniqueness is just writing. She created a publishing company immediately after that. And she started getting jobs. She has published I don't know how many books, because apparently, how I know is, so many people have sent me have requested me to write forwards, and every time they tell me that my publisher is Philson, my publisher is Philson, I don't know how many people have sent to her. Everyone that asks me about publishing a book and doing that, I'm like, you know what, if you want it simplified, go to Philson. Why? Because she discovered her uniqueness. She's making money out of it. She's fulfilling her purpose. She's fulfilled. She feels like she's thriving. She's walking on cloud 9, and she feels like this is it. But this is me. Okay? And when it comes, there are different people. When it comes to Mole Nalwanga, some of you have seen, for her, she was like, you know what? I have embraced who I am. I have come here and I have known my uniqueness. My uniqueness is to be a healing coach. So all I talk about is trauma, healing, how to heal out of it, how to forgive, how to do grief, handling grief. And you would think, who is going to actually invite you to speak? Who is going? Mole Nalwanga has been to the State House, has been to the farthest parts of this country, has been nearly on every TV station in this country, to radio stations on this country. She has hosted events of her own. She has written a book. And she's being paid to do these things. So you realize that when you find your uniqueness and you're able to say, I am running with this, I am not copying anyone, I am not walking according to anyone's desire, I am not walking according to anyone's, let me tell you, God is going to bless you where He has planted you. The moment you transplant yourself and take yourself to another ground, it's possible that there are not nutrients for you in that other ground. Your nutrients were supposed to be in the other ground. Be like a plant that was planted by the waterside, that it will bear fruits in its own seasons, that its leaves will never dry. When you are established in your uniqueness, your leaves will never dry. Why? Because you're not competing with anyone. Your roots are deeper. You are not shaken. Even when someone says something, you will be like, keep saying. Even when someone stones you, you will get the stones and you will build, and you will go a notch higher, and those people will be spectators. And guess what? They will come from being spectators They will become envious at some point. They will become naysayers at some point. But guess what? Where they end? They will end up your clients. They will end up advocating for you. They will end up praying for you. They will end up referring people to you. They will end up, because the worst, our enemies are our best supporters. The people that don't like you, they follow you every day. They read your status every day. They read your comments every day and your posts every day. They just don't comment, but they are in Kamoli. They are your biggest supporters. And guess what? Even when they rumor monger about you, I love people who rumor monger about me. That means I'm very important in their brain. That means they can allocate a huge chunk of time to the name Bahati and to the name Hilda. Even when they're talking about negativity, they are actually spreading, because as they talk about Hilda Umumanyi, someone runs to social media and then they go to Hilda and then they start reading, and before they know it, there's something that has touched them. That means actually God can lead people to my pages, to my work, using bad publicity. So for me, bad publicity is good publicity. Okay, so I love you. I need you to be able to embrace that uniqueness, and God loves that uniqueness. He blessed that uniqueness. You will thrive, you will make money, you will influence people, you will transform lives, and you're going to build a better generation. Do you know you?